So I am your science teacher and my name is Mrs. Jyoti. So we are in lesson number 3, that is parts of plant. So in the previous class we have learned about the different parts of a plant. So basically there are two types, that is the root system and the shoot system. The part which is below the ground is the root system and the part which is above the ground is the shoot system. And we have learned the functions of the root. So roots are going to fix the plant in the soil, they prevent soil erosion, they absorb water, minerals and nutrients from the soil, and the last one is they are going to store the food in the roots. Example are carrot, radish, turnip and beetroot. And we have also discussed that in roots there are two types, that is taproot and fibrous root. So about taproot and fibrous root we are going to learn today. So the first one is taproot. So page number 217. So in the taproot system, a large tapering main root grows vertically down in the soil. Other roots sprout laterally from it. Beetroot, carrot and turnip are examples of taproot. Few other examples of taproot are the plants of rose, mango, brinjal. So the main example of taproot is like carrot. If you see a carrot here in page 216. So for this carrot also the main root will be here, and from this again small lateral roots are going to come. And in the previous class also I showed you. So here this is the main root, and from this small side roots are going to come. So this is the taproot system. And the other example is mango and brinjal, lady's finger. So all these are the examples of taproot system. Then fibrous root. So what is fibrous root? A fibrous root system is usually formed by thin, moderately branching roots growing from the main stem. It is the opposite of taproot system in a way that it has many fine hair-like branched roots that form a thick sheet below the ground surface. Grass, wheat, rice and marigold are some of the examples of fibrous root system. Now if you see this taproot system, it is very clear. One main vein is there here, main root is there, and for that main root again small side lateral roots are there. But if you look at the fibrous root, so here is the fibrous root. Now if you look at this, see here, so many side, like many hair-like structures, they start growing from the main stem. So here is the main stem. From here onwards, the stem is going to start, right? So from here, so many hair-like structures, they start growing. They look like clusters. They look like a big bunch. Okay? So this is the fibrous root. So the examples of fibrous root are the grass families, weed and marigold. Okay? Rice field you see, right? So all these are the examples of the grass family. So for these plants you can see the fibrous root. Now here you have checkpoints. Please keep your pencil ready with you. So the first one is roots prevent soil binding, soil erosion, soil formation. So what do roots prevent? Do they prevent soil binding? Do they prevent soil erosion? Or do they prevent soil formation? So they prevent soil erosion, the middle one. So you have to underline it, okay? First one is soil erosion. Soil erosion. And look at the second one. Mango is an example of a stem taproot system or fibrous root system. So what does mango come under? It comes under taproot system. So underline taproot system. Then third one, leaves, flowers, roots help the plant in firmly fixing to the soil. So which are going to help the plant to fix in the soil? Leaves, flowers or roots? Yes, it is roots. So underline roots. The first one is soil erosion, second one is taproot system, and third one is roots. So with this, we have come to an end of the root system. Now let us learn about the shoot system. So what is shoot system? The part which is visible to us, that is the part which is above the ground, is called as the shoot system. If you take this plant from here, this part is the root system. That means only roots are present. Now this part which is above the ground is the shoot system. Now in this shoot system, again you can see many different parts. The main part is the stem. If the stem is not there, there are no leaves, no fruits, no flowers, nothing. So the stem is the main part. So for the shoot system, these are the parts. First one is the stem. So for the stem, again there are branches and these leaves. So leaves is the plural form and the singular form of leaves is leaf. Okay. Then for this leaf, later you can see the flowers. Okay, what are these? Flowers, the very bright and colorful part of the plant. It is flowers. And near these flowers you can see small buds. Okay. Small flowers are called as buds. And later these flowers are going to change into fruits. Okay. So these are the main parts of the shoot system. One is stem. It is the main part. Then leaves. Leaves are going to prepare food for the plant. And flowers. Flowers, they help in reproduction. Then buds. These buds laterally they grow into big flowers. Then fruits. Fruits, they enclose the seeds. That is, inside the fruits we have seeds. So what is the use of seed? Seeds are going to develop into a new plant later. So each and every part has its own function. Right? So about these parts we are going to learn now. So look into the textbook. Page number 218. Shoot. It contains of a stem including its part. The leaves, branches, flowers, buds and fruits. Just now as I told you, it has stem, leaves, branches, flowers, fruits and even buds also. Now coming to the first one, that is stem. Under shoot system, the first one is stem. So what is stem and what are the functions of stem? Let us learn. So the stem is the main part of this shoot. It has many important functions which are described below. So for the shoot system, the stem is the main important one as I told you. Because of the stem, it's going to fix the plant upright straight like this. If the stem is weak, they are going to bend. So the stem is the main important part of the shoot system. And here are the uses of the stem. It helps the plant to stand in an upright position. In this way, it provides support and shape to the plant. So here the stem is going to help the plant to stand upright, and it's going to give a proper shape and support to the plant. If the stem is weak, what happens? They fall down and they grow as if they want, and they are called as creepers and climbers, right? So everything is the shape of the plant, it is dependent on the stem. So the second use, that is page number 219. It connects the roots to the leaves and flowers. So here you see, for this plant there are no roots. So the stem is going to connect the roots here, down roots, and the leaves and flowers. So whatever the roots, they will absorb the water and nutrients. They should reach the leaves, flowers, right? So how they will reach the leaves and flowers? It is just because of the stem and branches. So from the roots, after they absorb, they go to the leaves through this stem. They go through this stem. So the stem of some plants store food, thus making it edible for us. Example of edible stem include sugarcane, potato and ginger. So in roots, few plants they store food like carrot, radish and turnip. So in stem also, few plants are edible, that is they store the food. One is potato. You may think that potato grows inside the ground, but it is the stem. Okay, it is not the root. So potato, ginger also grows inside the ground only, but it is the stem which is storing the food. And sugarcane it grows above the ground. So these are all the edible parts. Edible means which we can eat. So plants have different kinds of stem. Onion, ginger and potatoes are examples of edible underground stem. And another example of stem is onion. So onion, potato, ginger, they are also stems, but they grow underground. So these are the examples of underground stems which are edible, that means which we can eat. A coriander plant has a soft and green stem. So in curries also we put this coriander for garnishing something, that means to decorate. Garnish is nothing but to decorate any food. We put coriander leaves. So here in this plant also the stem and leaves both are edible. The stem of peepal and neem are very hard and thick, and if you see the stem of neem tree or mango tree or peepal tree or banyan tree, you see the stem is very hard and thick, and the stem of money plant and grapevine is weak and therefore needs support to grow. As I already told you, see here, this is the picture of a grape. So if you see the stem is very thin and weak. This kind of plants, they cannot stand upright. So they need a support. That is, if you put a long stick, if you dig a small pit and if you put the stick over there, so with the help of that stick, they are going to climb up. So these are the examples of the stem. So what are the functions of the stem? The stem is the main part of the shoot system. The first use is the stem is going to make the plant to stand upright. And what is the second use? It is going to connect the roots and the leaves, flowers. That is, it's going to transfer the nutrients and water, whatever the roots are going to absorb, it will send to the different parts through the stem. And the third one is some stems are edible like onion, coriander, ginger, then potato, sugarcane. Right? These are edible stems. That is, they are going to store the food. And if you see here, Potato is going to grow underground. Onion, ginger, they grow underground. And if you see coriander, here they are very thin stems which are edible, we can eat it. And if you see neem tree, mango tree, banyan tree, apple, they have the thick, their stem is very hard. Whereas if you see a grapevine, or you can see a money plant, so money plant is everywhere, in each and everyone's house it will be mostly, right? So if you see that, they need a support, they need either a rope or a stick. So with the help of that rope or a stick, they are going to climb up. So they are very weak, they are very thin, and they are very flexible. Flexible in the sense they can bend to any side. So that is about the shoot system. In the shoot system, we have learnt about the stem. So here, then in next class we are going to learn about the leaf, functions of leaf. Okay, and your homework is you have to draw the root system. So you have to draw the root system. As I already told you, there are two types of roots, that is taproot and fibrous root. So these two roots you have to draw it one time in the homework book. And just in your surroundings, if you have, you can go and just plug the plants like this, and you can check the types of roots. So one is taproot and another one is fibrous root, right? So check it and find out the differences between the taproot and the fibrous root. So read the lesson and draw the pictures. We will meet in the next class and we will learn about the functions of leaves.